everyone, thanks for joining me. So in today's video I just want to run through some of the movies that I found during January 2023. This is a mixture of mainly films that I find when I'm out thrifting, but also a few online pickups and one big box set as well. First up, Tom Cruise in Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Now I've seen this at the cinema, and I have seen it since as well, but not for quite some time, so I wanted to get a copy of this just so I could have it. Still a really good film. It's still weak in the ending. That last third is not so great, but wow, the effects for this, for the first hour at least, are just incredible. A lot of tension, a lot of really great stuff that happens in this. I still do ultimately prefer the 1953 version, but yeah, Spielberg really manages some great set pieces in this version. So yeah, glad to have this one, War of the Worlds. Next up, Paul Newman in Robert Benton's Nobody's Fool. This is one I want to rewatch. It's been a long time since I've seen this. Co-stars Melanie Griffith and Bruce Willis and Jessica Tandy as well. So yeah, good to have this one. I think Imprint Films have just recently brought this out, but yeah, this is the DVD. Next up, Bohemian Rhapsody. Now when I saw this at the cinema, I gave it a really high rating, and I haven't seen it since, and now I'm kind of feeling, geez, do I really like it that much? And I know since Bohemian Rhapsody, you know, there was like Rocket Man came out about Elton John. That felt like it was a really creative way of looking at his life and times. And then, for instance, Rami Malek starred in No Time to Die, and I kind of didn't like his performance in that so much. So I don't know if things like that have maybe just sort of shattered my opinion, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if I still like this as much as I did at the cinema. But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. Next is Jane Campion's In the Cut, starring Meg Ryan and Mark Ruffalo. Now I have seen this a couple of times and I haven't really liked it, but it's always that kind of film that just kind of niggles away at you and you sort of think, yeah, no, I need to just rewatch this one. So yeah, maybe this is one that'll just keep growing on me over time. I do find it an interesting film, but yeah, it hasn't got me yet. So, but I'll give it another go. In the Cut. Next up is Jonathan Livingston Seagull from 1973. Now I think I saw this when I was very young, and I did read the Richard Bach novel. I don't really have strong recollections of both, other than I think it was quite an ethereal, spiritual kind of story that was using a seagull as a metaphor for various spiritual kind of ideas. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether I like this or don't. But yeah, it features the voices of John Hurt and Hal Holbrook and Juliet Mills and James Franciscus, and I think it had a score or music from Neil Diamond. So yeah, I really don't remember this one, but yeah, just wanted to give it another try. Next I found Michelle Yeoh, Woman of the Moment, due to Everything Everywhere All at Once. But yeah, this is an earlier film from her, Super Cop 2. So yeah, obviously she was with Jackie Chan in Super Cop, which was kind of like Police Story 3. And that film, Super Cop, is just absolutely incredible in terms of what Michelle Yeoh does in that, and some crazy, incredible stunt work, particularly involving a motorcycle stunt on a moving train. So yeah, interested to see Super Cop 2. So this one focuses really just on Michelle Yeoh. Jackie Chan, I think, just has a very fleeting appearance in this. But yeah, glad to find this one, Super Cop 2. Next up, 4 classics from the Ealing Studios. Now these are films I haven't seen in quite a long time. But yeah, Whiskey Galore, Passport to Pimlico, The Maggie, and The Titfield Thunderbolt. And if I remember, I think The Titfield Thunderbolt was probably my favourite of these 4. I particularly like from Ealing Studios, The Lady Killers. That's, I think, is just a fantastic film. And The Man in the White Suit as well. But yeah, glad to have this. Next up is Takeshi Kitano, 3 films from him: Violent Cop, Boiling Point, and Hanabi, also known as Fireworks. So yeah, quite pleased to get this set. Boiling Point is the only one that I don't think I've seen before. But yeah, here they are. Boiling Point, Violent Cop, and Hanabi. And there you can see Takeshi Kitano in his kind of like trademark suit and dark glasses, very moody kind of looking guy. And I always find it kind of interesting that he used to be a stand-up comedian. You wouldn't really think that from watching definitely Violent Cop at least. I mean, that's a really brutal film. So yeah, interesting change of career for him when he made these films. Yeah, glad to have this in my collection. Next up, a digibook here. Pillow Talk with Doris Day and Rock Hudson. I love a bit of Doris Day, and this is a classic one which I don't think I've actually seen before, so I'm quite glad to now have this in the collection. Yeah, this is a nice edition. It's got various artwork and lots of extras inside, so nicely presented. Pillow Talk. Next up, I found Long Day's Journey into Night, the Eugene O'Neill play, and this one is directed by Sidney Lumet. Stars Katharine Hepburn, Sir Ralph Richardson, Dean Stockwell and Jason Robards. So yeah, looking forward to seeing this. Apparently it is a very sort of stage-like presentation of the play. Yeah, it was notorious. It says here it was the first film in history in which all 4 stars received Best Acting Awards at the Cannes Film Festival. So there you go. But Long Day's Journey into Night. Looking forward to seeing that. Next up, The Prodigal Son, directed by Sammo Hung and starring him as well. So yeah, trying to increase my martial arts knowledge. Yeah, I was quite pleased to find this one. Sammo Hung I've seen before. Well, I mainly knew Sammo from his work with Jackie Chan, but then found him doing other stuff. So I have The Magnificent Butcher already on DVD, but I believe this one's meant to be pretty good. So yeah, The Prodigal Son. And another one, Iron Monkey. This one's presented by Quentin Tarantino, but yeah, directed by Yuen Wo Ping, who is most famously known, I guess, for doing all the wire work type martial arts in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon and The Matrix. But this is an earlier film from him, 1993, although I think this video presentation is from 2001. Next, Shaolin Soccer from Stephen Chow. This one's actually currently on the Criterion channel. You can check it out on there. But yeah, I just found the DVD of this and thought I'd pick it up. Next up is Coraline from Henry Selick. Now I picked this up mainly because just recently I've been watching various YouTube videos of people presenting their, my top 100 movies of all time, and it was just interesting to see that Coraline was featuring in a number of those videos. So yeah, this is one that's just kind of, I've just never paid attention to it really, I guess, over time. So I thought, okay, now I should check it out. So yeah, here we go, Coraline. And next we have Jim Jarmusch's Coffee and Cigarettes from 2004. I think this is also currently on the Criterion channel if you wanted to check it out. Haven't seen this one before. I think this is a whole series of people, if you like, having various types of conversations in a coffee shop. I think that's the premise, I might be wrong. Yeah, quite a stacked cast here, as you can see. We've got Roberto Benigni, Stephen Wright, Steve Buscemi, Iggy Pop, Tom Waits, Kate Blanchett, Meg and Jack White, Alfred Molina, Steve Coogan, Bill Murray and more. So yeah, that's pretty an amazing cast. So yeah, Coffee and Cigarettes. And then finally for this month, last but definitely not least, is this fantastic Shawscope Volume 2 from Arrow Video. And wow, what a set this is. So these are all martial arts movies, obviously from the Shaw Brothers. Comes in this fantastic set. At the moment I don't have Volume 1, but I'm sure that time is coming pretty soon for me to get that. But yeah, what sparked this off was I did have the Dragon Dynasty DVD version of the 36th Chamber of Shaolin, and I watched that, and it's a great DVD copy that I've got, but wow, I love that movie. It really was fantastic. So that got me thinking a little bit more about this set, but I still didn't really want to commit to it. It's quite a bit of money and all that kind of thing, and I'm not really a great martial arts aficionado. I don't know that much about all of them. I mean, when I was younger, you know, it was Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, and then all the other martial arts films that were out on video were either in these really sort of scratchy copies that ended up being disappointing, and so I just didn't bother hiring them out. I always remember renting Jackie Chan's Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin, and it was just a terrible copy, and that kind of put me off wanting to rent other ones, but there you go. But I mean, that's the joy of where we're at now, in that so many of these films are all getting sort of rediscovered and remastered and reissued, so you can get to see them now in much clearer formats, which is great. But yeah, like I say, when it comes to the Shaw Brothers, I mean, I've always been aware of the Shaw Brothers, but haven't really known the films that well. 36 Chamber of Shaolin was certainly one which you know, I was aware of, but all the other titles not so much. So when it comes to this set, I was still holding off for a bit. Then I came across My Young Auntie, which stars Kara Hui, and I really had a great time watching that. But it was interesting to then sort of read some reviews of the film afterwards and find out that to a lot of people that seemed to be one of the weaker films that were in this set. So at that point I thought, okay, well, if people are thinking that's one of the weaker films, then I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy the full set itself. So yeah, I decided, yeah, let's get it, and I managed to get it at a sale price. So very pleased about that. But yeah, the presentation on this is just superb. Comes with this fantastic booklet, lots of great pictures and additional information about the films that are featured. Really nicely presented, and then the actual presentation of the films as well. So all of these martial arts films, so they all come on separate pages here with loads of additional features on the discs. Really nice artwork for each of the films that are presented. Mad Monkey Kung Fu, 5 Super Fighters. I'm yet to watch all of these, so the excitement awaits to check these out. Yeah, Invincible Shaolin, The Kid with the Golden Arm, Magnificent Ruffians, and 10 Tigers of Kwantung. There we go, My Young Auntie, that is the one I have seen. I think that was a great film, really good. Yep, Mercenaries from Hong Kong and Boxer's Omen. I know Boxer's Omen has a reputation for being quite wacky and weird. Martial Arts of Shaolin and The Barefooted Kid. And then you also get a couple of discs here of CDs of music from the films. So yeah, it's a really nicely put together set. Obviously you can watch other videos where people who are much more experienced with Shaw Brothers films have talked more in depth about these. So yeah, just check those videos out rather than mine. But yeah, I'll talk about these more once I've actually seen them properly. But yeah, I think I'll take the plunge and get the volume 1 as well. At the moment I have seen The Mighty Peking Man, which is on volume 1, which I had a really good time watching that. It's a kind of a King Kong variation that came out a year after John Gilliman's 1976 version, but I really enjoyed the way that they built these great sets that this costumed gorilla could then destroy. Really good fun to watch that. And then what's the other one I've seen from that set? Oh yes, Crippling Avengers, which has got some really acrobatic martial arts in it, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy volume 1 as well. So I should be getting that shortly, I think. But yeah, if you know these films, if you know both of these Shawscope sets, please do let me know which ones are your favourites and which other films you think I should look out for. One other film which I know is a Shaw Brothers film which isn't on either of these box sets at the moment, but I do really want to see it, is the 8 Diagram Pole Fighter that also stars Gordon Liu from 36th Chamber of Shaolin. I've read a little bit about that, seen a few clips from it, and it just looks sensational. Also stars Cara Hui from My Young Auntie. So yeah, that's definitely on the top of my list, I think, at the moment, of other Shaw Brothers films that I want to see. But yeah, please do let me know which ones do you think are the best ones that have yet to be put out by Shaw Brothers on these Shawscope sets. Anyway, that's it. Those are the films that I picked up in January. Let me know if you like any of those, or what you think about them. And stay tuned, because I will be doing another video shortly just to talk about some other movie recommendations that come out from my movie watching in January. But yeah, if you've watched this far, then thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Please do come back for more content. I appreciate it. Okay, take care. Bye.